I never imagined I would have to tell this story, but here I am. Even today, I feel a strange emptiness every time I talk about it, as if my soul had stepped back, leaving only my body to tell this tale. If you came here expecting to hear about victories, conquering adversity, or happy endings about those who fight, win, prepare yourself. There's another side to the American dream. It's a bitter side, one that can destroy years of hard work in just minutes and turn your lifelong dream into a living nightmare. My name is Alex. I'm the definition of an ordinary person, hardworking, honest, simple, but determined to build a better future. My family has always been my greatest treasure. My wife, Anna, my companion through everything, Lucas, our 8-year-old dreamer and curious boy, and Emily, our 5-year-old little girl, so joyful and gentle she loves to draw little houses, as if she knew already how important a home was for all of us. The dream of owning a home wasn't just mine. My parents were immigrants who worked their whole lives and always said, "A home is the greatest legacy you can leave." Anna and I saved every penny, turned down trips, small luxuries, even parties. It was hard to explain to Lucas and Emily why we said so many no's, but, in the end, every sacrifice was actually a big yes for their future. You watching, maybe you have dreams like mine. Maybe a home is one of them. Maybe you don't realize how fragile dreams are, how exposed to invisible dangers. By the way, share in the comments which city and country you're watching this from. I want to see how far this story can go. If it touches you, leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss real stories that help us think, rethink, and above all, protect ourselves. Our journey started on a classic American Sunday, sunny sky, kids playing in the back seat, Anna and I reviewing house listings, nervous even thinking about the final payment. We visited at least 8 houses, each had something special, but nothing felt quite right. Until the last one. This house was light blue, with an old wooden porch, a big backyard, and trees perfect for swings. Lucas ran ahead, shouting that he wanted the room with the big window facing the sunset. Emily sat on the step, mixing her colored pencils and leaves to draw the house. Anna just looked at me, it was unspoken, but we both felt, this was it. Our dream finally had an address, a color, even a smell of home. The buying process was a whirlwind, bank visits, credit checks, endless back and forth with the realtor, contracts full of dense legal terms. I tried not to show my anxiety. Our kids could tell something big was happening. They helped pick room colors and talked about the friends they'd invite. Anna started sketching out curtain ideas and making furniture lists on paper. The days leading up to closing were a blur of hope and exhaustion. We packed toys, clothes, books. Friends came to help with boxes and shared in our laughter. Anna danced with Emily late at night in the chaos. But the stress built up, dozens of emails every day, phone calls with the realtor, lawyer, title company, everyone speaking in technical jargon, requesting documents, rushing me to confirm details. The pressure to get everything right at the final step was intense. I felt the weight of being the man of the house. I worked all day, then spent midnight sorting emails, just so we wouldn't miss our much-anticipated closing day. But there was pride, too. Lucas proudly said he'd build a treehouse, Emily kept drawing, Anna started planning how she'd make the place truly ours. I'd lay awake at night, listening to the family sleep in our cramped apartment, feeling a new kind of euphoria. I was moving them all to a better place, finally trying to be the kind of example my kids could look up to. Everything felt perfectly in place that week. The closing was near, everyone was excited. Late Wednesday, as I was answering work emails and going through my document checklist, my phone pinged. Wiring instructions for closing, urgent. The sender was exactly what I expected, the title company. Name, address, flawless signature, layout identical to all the other official emails. The message was clear: closing would be Friday morning, and, to ensure nothing went wrong, I needed to wire the agreed amount urgently so everything would process on time. It wasn't just perfunctory, the email was almost upbeat: "We're excited to hand you the keys to your new home. To ensure a successful closing, please make the fund transfer using the information below." I hesitated for a moment, rereading the email. The address matched, the banking info looked standardized, company logo spot on. The paralegal's name matched the emails I'd previously received. It felt like a huge responsibility. The next step was on me. "Once the transfer is confirmed, send your receipt and we'll speed up closing," the message said. I grabbed a notepad and wrote everything down, just hoping I didn't miscopy a single digit. The urgency made sense. Real estate closings in the US are competitive, dates constantly shift, and a missed detail can mean losing everything. Deep down, I only wanted it to be over. I could see Anna smile, the kids running down a new hallway, so close, just one formality left. The wire transfer day came. I woke up early, opened our little safe with the hard-earned checks, double-checked all the email instructions, scrolled through house photos on my phone for courage. I went to the bank. Branch was empty, bank officer seemed nice. I showed the printed email, read the bank details 3 times with the manager. "Don't worry, Alex. Everything looks good. The transfer will happen today. Here's your receipt, keep it safe." My heart pounded. This was 10 years' savings, but I trusted the system. The process had been so secure, professional, so American. Leaving the bank, I was somewhere between exhausted and relieved. At home, Anna was packing boxes, trying not to look anxious. Lucas kept counting steps from the street to the porch, planning new games. Emily was carefully finishing a sign with our family name to hang on the door. That night, we ate pizza, everyone watching me, waiting for me to say, "It's done." I said it, and the happiness at our table was silent and pure, the kind that makes you think all the sweat and worry was worth it. I spent that night awake, staring at the transfer receipt. I remembered every sacrifice: parties skipped, canceled family trips, Christmas at my parents' because we never splurged on hotels. I'd paid the price, and now it was time to finally enter our own home. The morning after closing day was supposed to be all celebration. Instead, I got an early phone call. The title agent sounded nervous. "Alex, the bank hasn't received your deposit yet. Could you send over the wire transfer receipt?" Trying to stay calm, I said yes. I had followed all instructions to the letter. I opened my email and forwarded the confirmation. Then I called the bank and asked them to track the transaction. The manager told me the money was gone, transferred to a different account than the official one for the title company. My heart started racing, my mouth went dry. The agent asked for all recent emails. Suddenly, I noticed a single character difference in the sender's address, almost invisible unless you were looking for it. It felt like being thrown off a cliff. I called Anna and asked her to sit down. I tried to breathe, but my mind was a storm of dread and disbelief. I returned to the bank, desperately tried to reverse the transfer, pleaded for them to block the move. It was too late. They said the money had already been wired out to an account overseas, probably routed into many more, impossible to trace. Every second was agony. My hands shook. I rushed to the bank restroom and cried, punched the wall. Thoughts of Lucas and Emily, how I'd tell Anna, ran round and round my head. That night, and many that followed, I didn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I lived that moment again, the click that sent our life away, swallowed by thieves. That afternoon, I practiced over and over what I'd say. I waited for the kids to finish homework, then sat Anna down in the living room. My voice was barely audible. "Anna, we need to talk." I explained everything, that our home money was gone, that we'd been scammed, and that it was beyond any miscalculation. Anna froze, eyes wide in disbelief. "What do you mean, Alex? How could you not check? You're not supposed to trust just emails. Didn't I tell you to always double-check on the phone?" The conversation grew heated. Anna was shaking, wounded. Her voice rose, and her eyes shone with tears and disappointment. "You're always careful. Why now? We all counted on you, Alex. You knew how much this meant to us." Lucas, listening from the other room, asked if we weren't moving after all. Emily sat quietly, hugging the half-finished family name sign. Our home turned into a battlefield. I felt like an absolute failure. The man of the house who was supposed to protect, lead, and build a future, was now the source of tears, shouting, and silence. But that very night, after so much crying in words I'll never forget, Anna sat next to me. She called the kids, and we all hugged, a family tangled up in shared sadness, but held together by love. Lucas, even though still young, hugged my neck tightly. "Dad, you're still my hero." The next days, I lost myself in a desperate race to reverse what happened. First stop was the bank. I requested a full wire transfer trace. The manager explained the money had gone from my account to an intermediary bank in another state and, in minutes, was sent to multiple accounts overseas. The compliance team told me the harsh truth: scams like this are carefully organized. They make reversal nearly impossible. I gave a detailed police report, handed over every email printout, all account records. Next day, I went to the FBI. The agent told me they had dozens of cases like mine. They opened a formal investigation, collected all email IPs, checked data centers in different states. Within hours, the cybercrime unit determined the emails came from outside the US, most likely in Eastern Europe. The official title company even called me, shocked, suggesting a joint action with other recent victims. I hired expensive lawyers specializing in real estate fraud, hoping for any glimmer of hope. They filed international banking blocks, reached out to embassies, but always got the same answer. "Alex, these scams are planned down to the last detail. Criminals use shell accounts everywhere, move funds quickly, leverage cryptocurrencies, untraceable digital wallets. Is there any chance?" I asked. "Small. But don't stop warning others." I realized then, this wasn't a simple crime, but a global machine. I felt anger, helplessness, and a new responsibility to warn others. I made the mistake of trusting technology. If I'd called to confirm the banking info, or gone in person before transferring, things might have been different. So let me repeat, from the bottom of my heart, never trust banking instructions that come only by email, no matter how legitimate they seem. Always call, find an official number on the website, don't click on links from emails, never confirm sensitive information electronically. If this story reaches someone in time to prevent their own loss, then maybe it'll have some meaning. Share it. Make my pain someone else's shield. Those months were brutally hard. The feeling of failure still stings, but I've learned rebuilding starts with forgiveness, of yourself and of others. Together, as a family, we cried, fought, and reconciled. Today, we still pursue our dream. Maybe it now sits higher on the shelf, but it remains. Anna and I learned to look ahead, not to count what we lost, but to treasure our ability to endure together. Lucas and Emily still teach me, heroes cry too. Our house doesn't have an address yet, but its new invisible walls are built of companionship and hope. I invite you, if you made it this far, share your story, your fears, your doubts in the comments. Join this support chain. Nobody is truly alone. And if this story touched you in any way, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and leave your like. That helps me keep telling real stories and brings more people into this network of protection for those who dream, just like me, just like you. Watch the next videos linked above, share this warning, and help protect someone's dream. Take care of your home, your hope, and never forget, you can never be too careful, not even when dreaming. See you in the next video.